Manchester United are working on a deal to install Sporting Lisbon boss Ruben Amorim as their next manager. As reported by the Manchester Evening News on Monday evening, Amorim has agreed a deal in principle with United to succeed Erik ten Hag at Old Trafford. Ten Hag was sacked on Monday morning, less than 24 hours after Sunday's 2-1 defeat to West Ham United. United are understood to be locked in discussions with Sporting over a compensation package for Amorim. If successfully installed as United's sixth permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement 11 years ago, supporters should prepare themselves for the possibility of a formation change. Amorim has enjoyed plenty of success in Portugal, operating with a 3-4-3 system featuring wing-backs. It is considered to be his favourite system and should not be dismissed as a possibility, for United a 3-4-3 system offers both defensive solidity and attacking options, with the onus on the wing-backs to drop into a back five when the opponent has possession and to push high up the field and support the attack when the team in question has the ball. Currently, that would create a problem for United due to their lack of available left-sided defenders, but in the long term, once current absentees are recovered, it could be a beneficial system. Starting in goal, Andre Onana is highly likely to remain the club's first-choice goalkeeper. He has improved since arriving from Inter Milan in July 2023 and has started all but one of United's 14 matches this season. His shot-stopping ability, highlighted by his terrific double save in last week's 1-1 draw with Fenerbahce, has improved significantly, and he will still be keen to demonstrate the ball-playing expertise which made him United's top target to replace David de Gea last year. As far as the defensive line is concerned, a 3-4-3 formation will see Amorim deploy three central defenders across the back. United strengthened their centre-back pool in the summer, swooping for Leny Yoro from Lille and Matthijs de Ligt from Bayern Munich. De Ligt has experienced an inconsistent start to his United career, whereas Yoro is yet to start his after fracturing his metatarsal in the opening game of the club's pre-season tour of the United States. United are hoping the Frenchman could be back available at some point in November. As soon as he is recovered and his match sharpness develops, he could become a key member of the club's strongest starting one. He is considered a future star, and United will want to maximise his potential as soon as possible, aided by the support of more experienced figures in Lisandro Martinez and De Ligt. Yoro would be a good fit for the right-sided centre-back berth, and Martinez is tailor-made for the left-sided role because of his passing range. De Ligt is capable of operating between them. Diogo Dalot, Noussair Mazraoui, Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia would be battling for the two wing-back roles. Shaw and Malacia are still sidelined with injuries, but Dalot and Mazraoui are available for selection. Dalot is at his best on the right and has the speed and ability to get up and down the pitch. Mazraoui, though he is not naturally a left-sided player, is capable of operating on the other flank. The potential introduction of 3-4-3 system under Amorim would create a headache for the 39-year-old in midfield. When everyone is fit and available, United are blessed with strong numbers in the midfield department. Selecting just two to operate in the engine room will be a very hard task. Amorim will need to strike a balance between defensive and attacking phases of play. Kobbie Mainoo is one of United's best players and has enormous potential, meaning he should remain an automatic starter. He is a forward-thinking player, but is capable of assisting defensive Bruno Fernandes, is still the club captain and is capable of producing a moment of magic to get United out of jail, even if he has not been at his sparkling best so far this season. Getting a more familiar tune out of him will be a challenge for Amorim should he be lured to Old Trafford. As far as the attack is concerned, United's front three could be identical to the one Ten Hag picked for his final game in charge at the weekend, meaning Rasmus Højlund may continue as the club's chief striker, supported by Alejandro Garnacho and Marcus Rashford either side of him. United quotes strongest X1 Onana, Yoro, De Ligt, Martinez, Dalot, Mainoo, Fernandes, Mazraoui, Rashford, Højlund, Garnacho. There isn't a more in-demand manager in world football than Ruben Amorim just now, heavily linked with Liverpool last season, wanted by West Ham and impressing in Portugal with Sporting Lisbon. The 39-year-old is seen as one of the brightest and best in the business, so it is no surprise his name is being linked to both Manchester United and Manchester City, two Premier League giants who might need new managers in very different circumstances. United are seeking a replacement for Erik ten Hag after sacking him on Monday, while the Etihad might welcome a new boss for the first time in nearly a decade if Pep Guardiola doesn't extend his contract past next summer. But it is United who will have the chance to strike first. Installing a young coach making good on his potential could provide the spark Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe are looking for. Amorim is a modern manager capable of playing attractive football, developing young talent, finding untapped gold in the transfer market, and yielding results and trophies. It's a mix that makes him hard to ignore for Europe's top clubs. Tactically, he values possession, flexibility in attack, and a defensive foundation. Sporting lineup in a 3-4-3 shape with their defensive trio tasked with bringing the ball out from the back, and the attacking wing-backs playing high-dot and aggressive press when out of possession means they win the ball back quickly, and often that offers chances on the turnover. They often attack centrally and in numbers while relying on the wing-backs to offer an alternative outlet, with numbers in the box a mainstay of their offensive strategy. There is a flexibility to adapt and amend, but the core principles remain with possession to the fore. Only Manchester City and Inter Milan averaged more than Sporting 74.9 touches per opposition tackle last season. Amorim has helped develop youngsters, and the desire and willingness to bring on the next generation will go down well in the corridors of Old Trafford. Ratcliffe wants to be the best of the best, and Amorim seems destined to rise to the top of his profession. His next move, much like United's, could define the next few years. The club's official statement confirmed what fans had already speculated. The 2-1 loss to West Ham had sealed his fate. In a season filled with struggle, the West Ham game felt like a final blow. United's 14th position in the Premier League, with only 11 points from 9 matches, painted a harsh reality. The dream of reviving United's glory days had faded, leaving behind a legacy of unfinished business, and the weight of what could have been among the players. An outpouring of emotions followed the announcement. Joshua Zirkzee, the young striker. Ten Hag had signed over the summer from Bologna in a £36.5 million deal, was among the first to respond. A simple yet heartfelt message appeared on his social media, a picture of him with Ten Hag, captioned in Dutch, "Thanks for everything, coach," followed by the symbolic folded hands emoji. Zirkzee's words were few, but the sentiment was clear. Ten Hag had believed in him, had brought him into the fold, and for that, he was grateful. Coming on for Christian Eriksen in the 79th minute against West Ham would mark his last game under Ten Hag's leadership, a moment he now looked back on with quiet reflection. Joshua wasn't alone in his tribute. Captain Bruno Fernandes, the face of resilience and leadership for the club, shared his thoughts as well. "Thanks for everything, boss," he wrote. "I appreciate the trust and the moments we shared together." Known for his fierce loyalty and passion, Bruno's message reflected the respect he held for the manager who'd placed trust in him. "Even knowing the last period hasn't been great for all of us, I hope you fans can keep with you the good things the manager has done for our club." His words carried a sense of closure, recognising the challenges, but also honouring the moments that defined Ten Hag's tenure. It was a message that resonated with the fans, bridging the gap between the successes and struggles of Ten Hag's time at Old Trafford. Alejandro Garnacho, the young talent who had blossomed under Ten Hag, added his voice to the chorus. His gratitude was personal. "Thank you for everything, boss," Garnacho wrote. "I will always be grateful to you for giving me the opportunity and the confidence to play for this club." Garnacho's words carried the weight of a young player who had found his footing under Ten Hag's watchful eye. Despite the difficulties, he held on to the memories of the good times, acknowledging the role Ten Hag had played in shaping his journey. For him, it wasn't just about the matches or the points, it was about the belief Ten Hag had shown, a belief that had allowed him to grow, to become part of the United family. Rasmus Højlund, another rising star, joined his teammates in paying tribute. For Højlund, Ten Hag's departure was particularly significant. The young forward had seen in Ten Hag a mentor, someone who had offered him a platform to shine. His message was brief, but the sincerity was evident. Each tribute painted a picture of Ten Hag as more than just a manager. He was a guide, a supporter, someone who had left a mark on the players who'd shared the journey with him. These messages weren't limited to the squad alone. Behind the scenes, the coaching staff and club employees, many of whom had worked closely with Ten Hag, felt the weight of his departure. He had been a familiar presence, someone who had greeted them in the corridors, shared a smile and built relationships beyond the pitch. For them, Ten Hag's exit was a reminder of the transient nature of football, where dreams could rise and fall in a single season's dot, but for all the sorrow, there was also an air of acceptance. The fans, while divided in their opinions about Ten Hag's tactics and results, recognised the dedication he had shown. The banners, the chants, the moments of shared passion, these were memories that would remain. Erik Ten Hag had given his all, and now, as he stepped away, he left behind a legacy that was complex but undeniably significant. In the days that followed, the club's hierarchy would begin their search for a new manager, a fresh face to lead United forward. Speculation would swirl, names would be discussed, and the fans would once again hope for a brighter future. But in this moment, as the players paid their tributes and the stadium lay silent, there was a collective sense of gratitude, a farewell to a man who had dared to dream, and despite the setbacks, had fought to make that dream a reality. As Manchester United turned the page on another chapter, one thing was certain: Erik Ten Hag's impact, both the highs and the lows, would not be forgotten.